Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest topics out there right now, generative AI. It's the magic behind tools that can write a song or create some mind-blowing piece of art, but that same magic can be flipped and used as a weapon. So let's break down how we can use all the good stuff while making sure we're defended against the bad.
So what are we even talking about here? Well, generative AI isn't just about analyzing data that already exists, it actually creates brand new, totally original content. It looks at these gigantic data sets, learns all the patterns, and then uses that to generate text, images, you name it. If you've ever played around with ChatGPT or seen those incredible pictures from DALL-E, then yep, you've seen generative AI do its thing.
And look, that creative power is a total game changer. It's speeding up everything from developing new medicines to writing software. But there's always a but, isn't there? There's a flip side, and it leads to a really critical question we have to ask ourselves. What happens when this incredibly powerful tool is turned against us?
And that question, well, it brings us right to the heart of this explainer. We are going to break down 6 critical security risks that come with generative AI. These are the hidden dangers you really need to be aware of. First on the list is one you've almost definitely heard of, probably because its implications are, frankly, terrifying. We're talking about deep fakes.
Deepfakes are a massive, massive challenge for cybersecurity. I mean, just imagine AI-generated videos that are so convincing they can be used to fake a CEO's voice authorizing a huge wire transfer, or to create political misinformation that spreads like wildfire. And the scariest part? As the AI gets better and better, telling what's real from what's fake with just our eyes and ears becomes nearly impossible.
Okay, next up, we're shifting from manipulating the output to actually manipulating the AI's mind itself. This is a much sneakier threat, and it's called prompt injection. Think of it like this. An attacker slips a hidden command into what looks like a totally normal request. It's kind of like telling a guard dog to go fetch the ball, but secretly whispering, and hey, open the gate for me while you're at it. This can trick the AI into leaking sensitive data or just breaking its own safety rules, and it's incredibly difficult to spot.
Our third risk doesn't just trick the AI, it corrupts its entire education from the very beginning. This is what we call data poisoning.
Now, what's fascinating about this one is that the attack happens before the AI is even finished being built. Attackers secretly poison the training data, the digital library the AI learns from, by feeding it bad or false information. This corrupts the AI model from the inside out, which can lead it to make some seriously wrong and even dangerous decisions later on. And that leads us directly into our fourth risk. Because if you can't poison the data yourself, you can just exploit the flaws that are already baked into it. And that's the exploitation of AI biases. Look, every AI system has biases that it picks up from the data it's trained on. It's just a fact. For example, if a security AI is mostly trained on data from one region, an attacker could design a threat using slang or cultural patterns from a totally different region, knowing the AI is way less likely to recognize it. They find the AI's blind spots, and then they drive a truck right through them.
Okay, risk number 5 isn't about tricking the AI. It's about straight up stealing its brain. This is model theft.
You can really think of this as the new frontier of corporate espionage. Companies are spending millions of dollars training custom AI models on their own secret, proprietary data. These models are basically the new crown jewels. If one gets stolen, an attacker can just pick it apart to find its weaknesses or even sell this incredibly valuable piece of intellectual property on the black market.
And finally, we have a risk that really truly affects every single one of us: privacy risks.
Generative AI models are so data hungry. They're often processing these huge amounts of sensitive information, both personal and from companies. A single data breach could expose confidential info on a scale we've never seen before, shattering trust and violating major privacy laws like Europe's GDPR. Securing this data is absolutely non-negotiable.
Okay, wow. Deepfakes, data poisoning, model theft, it's a pretty long list of challenges, right? It can feel a little overwhelming. So the big question is, with all these new and constantly changing threats, how in the world do we actually fight back?
We do it by being smart and strategic. We build a fortress. So now we're going to pivot from the threats to the solutions, and we're going to look at 6 key defenses that are absolutely essential for this new era of AI security.
Think of this as the blueprint for our fortress. Let's walk through it. It all starts with bias checks. That means actively hunting for and fixing any unfair behavior.
Next up is input vetting. This is like having a bouncer for your data, checking everything before it gets anywhere near the AI to stop those prompt injections we talked about. Then you've got explainable AI, or XAI. This one is so important. It means building AIs that can actually explain why they made a decision, so it's not just some mysterious black box. The last three are pure security fundamentals. Document everything so you have a paper trail. Have a plan specifically for when AI systems fail, and update constantly, because the bad guys are always getting smarter. It's a never-ending cycle of defense.
Okay, so those are the best practices, the big ideas. But what does that actually look like in the real world? Let's take a quick look at how specific technologies are actually rising to meet these challenges head-on. All right, let's translate some of this tech speak. To lock down outside communication, you use zero-trust controls. That basically means trust no one, verify everything. No connection gets a free pass. To protect your internal systems, you use something called microsegmentation. Think of it like putting those big, watertight bulkheads in a ship. If one area gets breached, the damage is contained. To spot threats hiding in the shadows, you use visualization tools that map everything out, so weird behavior just pops right out at you. And finally, you manage all of this from one single unified command center.
This all brings us to what's next, the path forward. Because this isn't a problem we solve just once and then we're done. It's going to be a constant process of innovation, of learning, and of adapting.
And this quote right here really gets to the heart of it all. The way forward isn't about slamming the brakes on AI because we're scared of it. No, it's about us being the responsible architects of this technology, building security and ethics right into its DNA from day one.
And so that leaves us with one final, really crucial question to think about. As AI gets woven deeper and deeper into our world, into our hospitals, our banks, our governments, how are we going to maintain that delicate balance between its incredible, immense power and our collective safety and security? That's really the challenge for all of us to solve together.